economy that is breaking every record in the books. Since the beginning of my administration, we've now announced over 1,200 new location or expansion projects, bringing in a record $43 billion in new private sector investment and creating 63,600 new jobs at the best 3-year wage average that the Commonwealth has ever seen. A big part of that success comes from companies expanding and pursuing new ventures here in Kentucky. In August of 2020, we announced that HVAC Distributing plans to open a second operation under the name Mr. Cool in the Hickory Industrial Park. This is a $7 million investment that's creating 175 new full-time jobs. In August of 2023, the company announced plans to expand that operation, including an additional 2 floors of office space, a large showroom, a video graphics area for marketing, a call center, and a training facility for employees, dealers, and franchisees. Just last week, the company cut the ribbon on this newly expanded facility, a $5.35 million investment that's creating 40 new jobs. HVAC Distributing has been a part of the Commonwealth's logistics and distribution industry for about 10 years, and I'm excited to see them branch out with this edition of the Mr. Cool brand. Congratulations to this Team Kentucky partner for this additional step forward. Next, we're joined by 2 brothers who have gone into business together, and they are investing big in Kentucky. Ophir and Yuri Rahimi are with us today. Together, they created RIP Technologies, an e-commerce company they founded while they were still in college in California. In 2023, they began a new platform called Artilo. This new brand lets artists sell and distribute their work online. It's an all-inclusive business that handles printing, framing, and shipping of artwork all around the world. They were based in Miami, Florida, but they found a large warehouse in Mount Sterling and moved to their new Kentucky home last year. RIP Technology pledged to create and maintain 46 jobs here in Kentucky, and after only about a year and a half, they're already up to 30. That is a great start. They source their lumber from Kentucky. They donate to nonprofits in the area, and they've begun to recruit their workforce from Montgomery County High School. We recently announced $700,000 will go to the Montgomery County Fiscal Court. These funds will help the county and the Industrial Authority purchase manufacturing equipment and then lease it to the company. I'd like to invite these 2 brothers to speak for a couple minutes about moving their company to Kentucky and their great plans for the future. Please join us. Welcome, please.
Well, first off, this is an absolute honor. I'm definitely a little nervous, so it's cool to be in front of the camera and, of course, speak to all of you. It's been an incredible journey the last year and a half, moving our business from Miami to Mount Sterling. I do want to give a couple of thank yous. So first off, to our staff, none of this is possible without all of them. We've eclipsed roughly about a 50-person team at this point, and every single day, everybody wakes up to contribute their best. And it's an incredible team that we've built. On top of that, from the local government there, I want to give a quick shout out to Jason Rainey from the Industrial Authority. He's been incredibly helpful to bring us into the area, to allow us to understand, working with the CBDG grant that we've been able to work with. And then on the state level to make this possible as well. It's an incredible opportunity. On the federal level, we've been in the last couple of years really building an industrial base in the United States. And it's incredibly important that small businesses like us have access to capital to be able to build very productive, incredible equipment that allows us to be highly productive and to rebuild that industrial base that for years has shifted overseas. So this is really an incredible opportunity for us to continue to build manufacturing here, provide high quality jobs that are very productive, and to continue to grow in the state of Kentucky. So thank you.
Yeah, as I was sitting down, I was thinking about what to talk about. And I think something like this is something to talk about, because when we were in Florida, the only time we communicated with our local government was if there was a bill to pay or something like that. And so this has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure also with local government in Kentucky, and with the grants, with the grants, we're going to be able to invest in a lot of the future in our business, which is going to look like a lot of robotics, a lot of automations, and that's going to allow us to not only increase the number of jobs we can provide, but also better paying jobs. because the more productive we can make our employees, the more we can pay them, and the more everyone kind of wins. So we're super excited about that. We're also super excited to continue with investing in Kentucky. It's been a pleasure being here, and yeah, we're very grateful for the opportunity. And for us, looking back, we've only really been here a year and 6 months, and yeah, very happy that we made the move for sure.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you to Rip. That's how you build your new Kentucky home. And I think we also heard how when you do it right, you can be both pro-business and pro-worker. The better the business does, the better the workers do. I want to give a shout out to an important Kentucky employer that continues to invest and create jobs for Kentuckians. Ford Motor Company recently announced another $60 million investment, creating 100 additional new full-time jobs at the Kentucky truck plant in Jefferson County. The further commitment comes as the company takes measures to respond to an unfortunate situation following a fire at a Novelis aluminum plant in New York, which impacted production. But the investment in Kentucky also comes in response to strong consumer demand for the F-250 and the F-Series Super Duty trucks. In the beginning, we thought these might be temporary jobs. We are now told that they will be permanent, full-time jobs, meaning more of our families will have access to the great job that helps them put food on the table. The investment in Kentucky will generate production of more than 5,000 additional trucks every year. And I want to thank the leaders at Ford for the investment after investment after investment they've made in Kentucky. We are grateful. Right as we were about to start the press conference, I've learned that the federal government has now provided the guidance we need to start our state work on providing full benefits under the SNAP program. We're going to recognize a lot of great workers who help make sure that people get those benefits. But as an update, the federal government is moving on their side, and I know we'll move as quickly as we can. When we have an update on timing, we'll make sure we provide that. Let me just say that this didn't have to happen in this shutdown. This is the first president that has ever refused to pay SNAP benefits during a shutdown. 2 courts told him that he could pay full benefits during a shutdown, and he went to court to try to not pay those full benefits. But we're coming out of the shutdown. What's most important is that the people in Kentucky get the help that they need and that no one goes hungry, especially in a month where we celebrate Thanksgiving. Now for a tougher update. Now, following the catastrophic UPS plane crash last week, we believe we've now identified all victims of the terrible event. These are 14 children of God taken far too soon. Their names are Captain Dana Diamond, Captain Richard Wartenberg, First Officer Lee Truitt, Angela Anderson, Carlos Fernandez, Lou Fidone, Kimberly Asa, Trina Chavez, Tony Crane, John Lukes, John Spray, Matthew Sweets, Ella Petty Wharton, and Megan Washburn. These families need our prayers, our love, and support more now than ever. Let's be there with them in their time of need. We're in this together just like we've always been in the hours, the days, the months, and the years after all we've been through. We've proven through tornadoes and floods that we are strong but kind people. And we need to make sure that these families get our very best, just like every other family impacted by any of these disasters has gotten our very best. Since the day of the event, we launched the Teen Kentucky Emergency Relief Fund. We've now received a little over $48,000 in donations. Our team is continuing to receive information on what the other funds are going to cover, what the UPS fund, for instance, is covering to ensure that efforts are not duplicated. For instance, we are told that the UPS fund is going to cover funerals. We want to make sure that each of these dollars helps the families that are impacted in the best way that they can, and not in any duplicative way. So we're going to have more information on where those donations will go in the coming days. To everybody impacted, we love you, we care about you, and we'll be here for you not just today, but in the years to come. All right, next up, a update on our water supply infrastructure improvements. This is about not just telling you when we have initial announcements, but coming back and making sure that you see what these dollars go into, and when we complete projects, how they're going to make our lives better, how our families are going to benefit from these investments. Today, we're going to talk about Eastern Kentucky, where we continue to make progress to repair or replace water infrastructure. As you can imagine, the terrain in Eastern Kentucky can be a challenge to both build and maintain adequate water lines. Many were hit hard by flood after flood after flood, and many of our systems are older, in need of repair. So Team Kentucky received $9 million through the Water Supply Replacement Program, and we've been working to complete 5 projects in Breathitt, Knott, and Perry counties. A few weeks ago, we completed 2 projects in Breathitt and Knott counties that upgraded water lines and repaired infrastructure. The Breathitt Multi-Sites Project repaired infrastructure that was severely damaged in the 2022 floods. This $1.7 million project replaced over 6,000 feet of water line, which improved service to 950 Kentucky households. The Big Branch to Montgomery Creek project in Knott County is now also complete. A second project will continue the new water line from Montgomery Creek to Talcum. These projects are installing over 68,000 feet of water line along KY 80 near the Knott Perry County line. It's going to improve service to 2,500 existing customers and provide service to new customers in the future. These projects are important to the health and well-being of our families. Clean, safe, reliable drinking water should not be in question for anyone, and Team Kentucky is working to make that a reality. Next, we have an update on our recruitment efforts by the Kentucky State Police for our next cadet class. Last week, the State Police announced that Post 4 in Elizabethtown and Post 12 in Frankfort, which serves Louisville and Lexington, are now available for post assignments. This begins with Cadet Class 107, which is scheduled to begin in May of 2026. The annual starting salary for Cadet Class 107 is $69,500. That comes with a comprehensive benefits package, including hybrid retirement and sick leave buyback options. The Kentucky State Police serves all 120 Kentucky counties and touches every corner of our Commonwealth. Troopers who know the communities they serve are essential to building a new, safer Kentucky home, and we encourage interested individuals to apply. Cadets without a prior background in law enforcement will undergo an intensive 24-week training regimen with over 1,000 hours of classroom and practical field study. What I'd say is getting through that program is not easy, but it makes sure that you are well trained and as safe as you can be on the job on day one. They're trained in various critical topics, including constitutional law, juvenile law, traffic laws, crisis response, criminal investigations, and community relations. Individuals with prior law enforcement experience who want to join the state police can apply for a 14-week accelerated program, fast-tracking your journey to become a trooper. Individuals who graduate from the training academy are eligible for final hiring from posts 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 12, and 16, and will receive guaranteed assignments at their home post location. All other applicants will be assigned to their home or a bordering post or available positions as the agency needs. The deadline to apply is December 5th, 2025. Those interested can visit joinksp.com to learn more. All right, this week, our country came together to recognize Veterans Day. As Americans, we must continually give thanks to our veterans for their bravery, selflessness, and dedication to our great country. Our country is home of the free because of the brave, and we must work to be worthy of their sacrifices which sustain us. In the Commonwealth, we take that responsibility seriously. And I'm proud to say that Team Kentucky's Department of Veterans Affairs sees that through every day. From helping with benefits and compensation to veteran employment and education, supporting women veterans, caring for our veteran cemeteries and more, KDVA sees this work through with pride. Thanks to their efforts, I'm proud to say we've made great progress for veterans across our Commonwealth and beyond. Together, we've helped create more opportunities for veterans to receive support. First, we're seeing construction continue for the new Louisville VA Medical Center, which will also include a women's health clinic. We also saw through the construction and the opening of the Colonel Robert E. Bob Spiller Veterans Center in Bowling Green, the first new Veterans Center in a long time. I've also made it a priority to sign legislation to support our veterans, military service members, and their families. KDVA and I see this work as our sacred duty, and thankfully, our efforts have been recognized time and time again, which brings me to today's good news. Come on up, gentlemen. Team Kentucky's Veteran Affairs was once again recognized with the VA Abraham Lincoln Pillars of Excellence Award for Customer Service. This is the 5th straight year. To Commissioner Whitney Allen and the entire KDVA team, thank you for all you do to support your heroes. What this means is we support our veterans. We help them get their benefits faster. We do all of this and serve them better than most states. And for that, we should be really proud, and we should recommit ourselves to winning a 6th straight one next year. No pressure. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty special. November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. We made great strides over the past several decades. We've raised awareness about lung cancer, and we've made efforts to address it, both through reductions in tobacco use and access to healthcare services such as screenings and early detection. Back in August, we were proud to report that Kentucky was the only state in the entire country to earn a perfect 100% score in a national assessment of state cancer plans run by Go2 for lung cancer. This assessment looks at what every state is doing to support lung cancer prevention, early detection, screening access, treatment, and survivorship. And Kentucky was recognized as having the best plan to address lung cancer. Our perfect score reflects our commitment to building our new Kentucky home. We're also proud of the fact that over the past 5 years, Kentucky lung cancer survival rate has increased by 30%. That means more of our loved ones are here to spend more time with our families, and it's something that we should be very proud of. But while we celebrate in this progress, we know that there's a lot of work left to be done. Lung cancer is still the #1 cause of cancer deaths in Kentucky. And we recently learned we rate the highest in the nation for new lung cancer cases. For this reason, we continue to remind Kentuckians about the importance of avoiding tobacco and the health services available to screen for lung cancer. When we catch lung cancer early, we can treat it and get folks back to the things that matter, because an early diagnosis increases the odds of a successful treatment. If you think you could be at risk for lung cancer, we encourage you to talk to your healthcare provider. This could be if you're over 50 years old or you currently smoke or quit within the last 15 years. If you meet the criteria, consider getting screened for lung cancer. The best thing you can do for your health is to act. Another important thing Kentuckians can do is to help friends and neighbors quit smoking. That's why Team Kentucky also provides the Quit Service line, Quit Now Kentucky, to help anyone who wants to quit smoking. Just call the number on your screen, 1-800-QUIT-NOW. The service is totally free, and coaches can connect you to lung cancer screening resources you qualify for. Now, we're thankful for everybody who works on this program and for everybody out there in Kentucky that's looking out for your neighbor. All right, that brings me to today's Team Kentucky All-Stars. On October 31st, we got some positive news in the multi-state challenge that I joined against the Trump administration to secure SNAP benefits. That day, the court ruled in our favor. And from there, we learned the federal administration would partially fund SNAP. While only partial, it was still a step in the right direction. We knew it was going to help people that were really worried, and we wanted to get that help out as fast as possible. So our Department of Community-Based Services and the CHFS Office of Application Technology Services worked through the night to process and submit files. And on November 6th, we were able to confirm that we were the first state, or at least one of the first, to process those partial SNAP benefits. This was coming in late at night and working through the night, giving up that sleep, sacrificing, knowing there were so many Kentuckians out there that needed help, and this was going the extra mile, going above and beyond. We got this done for our fellow Kentuckians thanks to these dedicated team members who I'd like to invite up. They are our Team Kentucky All-Stars. If you all please join me, we want to recognize you for your great service. As they're coming up, we'd remind you that more than 600,000 Kentuckians rely on SNAP. That's 1 in 8 of our people, many of which are children. These families need our support, and because of the work of these incredible state employees, they got help and they got it quickly. All too often, people say negative things or have negative perceptions about federal or state workers, but the people behind me are heroes who came in, who got the job done, and because of that, a lot of people in Kentucky had enough to eat that wouldn't have otherwise. So I am proud that we are naming them this week's Team Kentucky All-Star, recognizing them for their incredible work for their fellow human beings. Thank you all. Thank you all. I'm gonna check everybody. As long as we're okay with that. All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Sorry. Thanks for all the work. Thank you. And now I recognize that they are headed back to work because we have to process now the full benefits that are coming. But I know that there are no state employees anywhere in the country that are more focused on getting this help out. We have a challenge coin, my personal challenge coin for each of you, just as a token of our appreciation. Okay, with that, we will open it up to press. 1 reporter in the room, about 7 online. We'll start with Carolina. Right. So I know that we're going to work this as fast as we can. We think that a good projection is middle of the month, that we think that most people could see those dollars coming in. But we're going to give you a better projection as we're able to review the federal information and to see the amount of time. This one's going to be a little more complex, I think, because partial benefits have already gone out. And so this is secondary on top of that. Now, I would say that partial benefits weren't just X percent of what people used to receive. There's actually a formula. So it's X percent minus another amount, which is how it normally goes. So one thing that's so good about the full benefits coming is there are some people that were previously getting help that got no help because of the way that the partial formula works. And now they're going to get that assistance here in the middle of the month. So again, I'm very thankful for all these employees. I only know a little bit of the complexity of what they do, and I'm grateful for it. All right, on the line, we have Josh James.
Hi, Governor. Thanks for taking my call. 2 related shutdown questions. Did ending the shutdown without getting Democrats' core demand saddle the candidates that you'll be hoping to elect next year with a harder case to make when they face voters who saw that deal as maybe not worth the long interruption? And are you in agreement with Senator Paul that the hemp-related language in the government funding bill poses an existential risk to the state's hemp industry, or do you see those tighter restrictions as necessary?
I haven't had a chance to review the language on hemp, but hemp is an important industry in Kentucky. We should have appropriate safety regulations around it, but we should make those regulations here in Kentucky, talking to the industry and making sure that we get that balance right. I think that we can protect our kids. I think that we can do the right thing to protect all of our people while not handicapping an industry that supports a lot of people. On the shutdown, what I'd say is that no one wins a shutdown, but I believe that there were 2 losers coming out of this shutdown. First, congressional Republicans, which showed that they were absolutely unwilling to pass a law that would extend tax credits, even though they'd passed a law that extended tax cuts. They basically said, we will not take the step that's necessary to prevent millions of Americans' health care from going up significantly. I think the second loser is our current president, who very clearly said that he was willing to allow people to go hungry for political leverage He said he didn't have the authority to fund SNAP, even though every other president has. When we went to court and the court said, okay, you can provide full benefits, he went back to court to fight against sending food to people. I don't say that because I'm a Democrat. I say that because I'm the governor of Kentucky that had 600,000 people that were worried about their next meal, and it could have been entirely prevented the whole time. Our people and the American people are not pawns, are not political leverage. And in a state and a country where we grow enough food for everyone, no one should have to worry about their next meal. Tom Latek, Kentucky Today.
Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon to you. In addition to SNAP, now that the president has signed the legislation, are there any other federal funds that had been frozen that Kentucky will now be able to receive?
Yeah, there's going to be a number of programs that should now be funded. I don't know exactly how the timing will work. TANF, which helps families in need, we had provided state funding for the period of time of the shutdown. We expect to get full reimbursement of that, but now we will have the federal portion coming in. Head Start was seeing challenges, but one of the most important parts is we have about 20 to 30,000 federal employees in Kentucky. They've been going without a paycheck at all. Life's already too hard right now. The bills pile up. It seems like there's nothing left over for most people at the end of the week and the end of the month. And then imagine not getting a paycheck at all for that period of time. So certainly glad that our federal workers are going to be back on the job. I think about places like our federal parks, Mammoth Cave, all those individuals who I've gotten to know some of them really well, going without their salary, which they depend on. Those are our Kentucky families living in those areas. So very glad to see them both back at work and to get that back pay. Morgan Regal, WPSD.
Good afternoon, Governor. As you know, there was another major wreck on the I-24 bridge in Paducah connecting Illinois and Kentucky earlier this week. Residents continue to express concerns about safety as construction continues, saying that the current precautions are not doing enough to limit accidents. What is your office doing to protect drivers going to and from Kentucky?
Yeah, we've been discussing this with the transportation cabinet. As we see more accidents anywhere, we always have to be willing to ask the question, are we doing enough? What else can be done? Is there proper signage? And so not just in this instance, but in any of them around the Commonwealth, we don't want to see people in those accidents. It's one of the reasons, for instance, in construction zones, we've now put the cameras in because we've seen folks that are speeding in other parts of the state that can cost the life of somebody working in those areas. So your safety when you're on the roads and bridges of Kentucky is paramount. It's something we think about every day. I have a new driver in my family who has at least just his provisional license, and you worry about them when they're on the roads. So we're going to continue to look at both that bridge and other areas where we see too many accidents and see what else can be done. Madison Elliott, WLKY.
Hi, Governor. I have two questions for you. One, first regarding the SNAP timeline. I know you said you guys are working on what that timeline will look like. What is that timeline dependent on, and is the hope to get those full benefits out before the end of November? And then two, can you just address the $50 million project to improve I-71 in Louisville?
Excited about the I-71 project. It is going to reduce traffic congestion. That's an area I used to live close to and know how it can back up. It's going to improve safety. And anytime you are expanding an interstate with lanes, it gets the attention of more businesses, and it's going to give us an opportunity just to go that extra mile on economic development, an investment that needed to happen. Again, it's going to reduce traffic. It should make your commute time potentially a little bit shorter, and it's going to improve public safety. On the SNAP timeline, we just got the guidance from the federal government as I walked out here. So we'll have to give you an updated timeline, but yes, certainly by the end of the month. I mean, we're going to beat that. We're hoping to get it done as quickly as possible, but I want to let all these heroes that were just up here get back to work and get started on it. We'll have more information out on our social media channels. My Nebraska traveling buddy, Isaiah Kim Martinez.
Hey, thank you, Governor. I had a couple questions as well. First, do you believe it was the right move by those 8 senators who broke with the Democratic Party to reopen the government? And second, I know you say you generally don't talk about this pre-primary, but I wanted to get your thoughts on Dale Romans announcing his.
Well, Dale Romans is a friend. I don't intend to get in the Senate primary. We got a number of good candidates that are in it. Dale is one of them. He's a smart guy. He's a great trainer. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. Have some other friends in it as well. What I hope we have is a spirited primary that makes everybody better with a candidate that comes out of it that is tested and ready for the general. Tell me the other question. Oh, on the shutdown. Well, listen, the shutdown is over. The government has reopened. My goal is to make the best of that as we move forward for Kentucky. You know, there aren't winners in a shutdown, but I think the American people very clearly saw who was fighting for their health care and who didn't care if their health care premiums went up, and they saw who was willing to let people go hungry and who wasn't. And finally, McKenna Horsley from the Kentucky Lantern.
Thank you, Governor. Last week, Attorney General Russell Coleman asked the Franklin Circuit Court to overrule you in a case regarding the death penalty and clarify from his point of view that there's no impediment for you to sign a death warrant for Ralph Bays. What is your response to this action, and what do you think would be the ideal outcome in this case?
Well, I think that opinion very clearly states that we've got to have additional regulations go through the process, and we didn't hold that up. We submitted the regulations. I've just reviewed the comments that came back on them. You know, I'm following a court order, which the Attorney General knows I have to follow. You know, I'm an attorney too. I can read those orders just like he can. And listen, only one of us is pushing out press releases. I'm trying to do the right thing by the court. But what I'm also trying to do is to be upfront, both with that family and others, that we do not have the drugs required to carry out an execution in Kentucky under the regulations. The pharmaceutical companies will not provide them. And while the Attorney General has said he'll do something or try to secure them, we have not seen any progress in that area. That's where we are with the death penalty right now in Kentucky. We have a full injunction on it. And one of the steps that we have to do, if that injunction's ever going to be undone, is to get the regulations through. They're moving, and we probably will have more news on that soon. All right. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to ask Kentuckians to continue to live out our faith and values, supporting those victims' families of the UPS tragedy, supporting those that might not have enough to eat during this Thanksgiving holiday month. And I just want to say I'm so proud of all our Kentuckians who donated to food banks, who brought in extra that they might have had, that helped a neighbor during this time. The one thing we do, I think, better than just about anywhere else is we stick together and we help each other in tough times. God bless everybody. I think we're back next week. We're back on the 20th at 1:30, according to Scotty Ellis. Thank you all very much.